the life is very short, and we all need to have this understanding that we are coming with each other in this race of life, that there is some grace, that there's like God is walking with us in this journey. So when we understand that, this race becomes grace, right? And then when we come and engage with everyone around us, we will go with a sense of love, which is a very broader way of engaging with. We'll go with a sense of empathy, kindness, treat each other with respect, admiration. And there will be moments where we are, humorous and light-hearted. But at the end of the day, we all want each other very happy and a growing life.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're all joining in from. I'm Kiva from Coacharya. Lovely to have you all join in today. And today is the first day, in fact, when we have started the webinar at 7:30. So we're really glad that you've adjusted to the shift with us and you are here with us today. So we have a very, very special webinar today. It's part of a new webinar track that we have started, which is on coaching specializations, where we aim to bring people from different sectors and learn from them about their sector, their challenges, the positives in the sector, and see any alignment that we have with coaching, with that sector. So before I get into all the details of who our guest is today and bring Komal in as well, I'd like to just take a few minutes to share with you all some of the details. So today's session is with Udit. It's on coaching specializations, paradigm of love and relationship. With Valentine's Day around the corner, we thought, why not start February as well with Valentine's Day celebrations with you all. Before we get into the details, I wanted to also just take a minute. You must have received our email as well today. We have just shared with you all the different courses that we're bringing to you in February. So you can see we have 3 foundation courses. One is on coaching leaders. One is the one that Komal is actually facilitating, Eastern Philosophies and Coaching, which is starting this February, this Saturday, 4th February. One is on coaching ecosystem, where we're going to touch upon organizational coaching and learn about what it takes to build an ecosystem with the help of coaching. We also have advanced programs. So one is on ontology. That's the one that's happening on February 19th. And a mastery program, which is with Cindy on mastery and coaching. So here's what we have in store for you all in February. So do write to us at support@coacharya.com if you want to know more about any of these courses. We also have another webinar next week, which is going to be with Ram and Clifford Mohan Pai, but we'll get into the details of that later. So I'm going to now invite Komal to take over our webinar and get us started with Udit today.
Thank you so much, Kiva. Appreciate. Hello, everybody. Good morning from here. I know it's evening or afternoon at some of your places. So welcome to our conversation today. And like you can see on screen, we have Udit Shah sharing the space today. And it's going to be one hell of an interesting conversation. Like Kiva said earlier, February is also known for the month of love because of Valentine's Day and the way we've sort of grown up. I can speak about my personal experience. I was probably in college when Valentine's Day started to become very, very popular, and it was more around youthful energy, young people declaring their love and affection or attraction for people. And then slowly and gradually it penetrated into our homes and families, where husbands and wives are sort of expected to share their love with each other. And seems like through films and a lot of things, love had um, brought us a lot of ideas in our consciousness, like what really love is and how it should be. And I'm sure this is one key question which is important to all of us, especially now when I see my children growing up. The meaning of Valentine, how does it hold true now? How the younger people look at love and what really is important. So there were so many different questions, and I thought it would be a very interesting place to explore, especially when we have a young person who's sort of chosen his path, his career in what he calls as love tech, which is like an interesting point for me to explore. Welcome, Udit. Welcome to
Thanks.
Coacharya's webinar.
Thanks a lot, Komal. I appreciate this opportunity for inviting me. I see this space to share my learning, how I see personal growth, and uh, broader love as well as romantic love, how it's evolving, and how we uh, as an early stage company are doing a small bit in taking this sort of love moment forward. And I think it's a wonderful month and it's a wonderful day to start with the conversations around love, care, and relationships. So I appreciate this opportunity and thanks a lot for inviting me.
Thank you. And before we go any further in the conversation, I would like to share with you that Udit is the founder and CEO of Adore, which is a startup. We can call it like it's a dating app, but it's a dating app with a twist.
The
So
growth
Udit, what is
mindset.
that twist?
Yeah, so primarily what we are looking for is that if we see the love space when it comes to the business side of things, there are primarily three type of companies, right? The first companies are, say, something which are matchmaking companies, where your parents or your relatives are building your profile without your consent, uploading your photographs and trying to get you a best suited partner based on your community, based on your qualifications, your income level. Then there is a second part which is completely opposite, where young people are independently exploring love, and in the name of love they may get into the situations which are transactionals or very flingy type of associations. um, the culture of patch up breakups and all these things, which is not very serious. And the third category where adore falls, the name itself uh, is coming from a very serious interpretation of love which has respect in it. So we are in middle of both this polarly opposite you know areas, where we say that adore helps young individuals find serious love independently based on who they are, which is
Hmm.
their personality, passions, and interests, instead of falling for things which are, like, say, more of a external society driven, like, say, community or your race or your income level. All these things are also important, but the true love, if you can find it based on your core personality, which is your what interest or passions you follow, your personality traits, and if you find and connect with people based on that, and you connect for serious relationship, for a lifelong relationship, then adore is the place to join and to explore your love.
Amazing. So I absolutely love the idea, and the point that you've taken is because in the true sense, you can come to love people around you only when you first have that love in yourself and have an identification that who I am and I do have this capacity which originates from me.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So which is also a very, very healthy pattern. before we go into that aspect of owning the self or talking more about the relationship with self, how did you land up in this space? Like, what
Uh,
was your motivation?
yeah, so I'll be very honest. See, since my undergraduation, I had this particular bug of, starting up something of my own, and that's why I ended up doing my master's in business administration. Back then, in like early 2021, I had this various concepts in the consumer tech space, so to say. Right, so one was all of them were meant to enable a sort of growth mindset at a consumer level, like at a scale. So one was around education space, one was around uh, media space, where we can say positive media. Because if we see the news today, 80% of news are negative and only 20% are positive. Whereas there's lots of positive things that are also happening. So why can't there be a platform just sharing positive sort of information of achievements and recognitions and all. Third idea was around coaching. Fourth was around love and relationships. When I deeply introspected, I considered that if I go around the space of love and relationships, it will give a very tangible outcome wherein I'm connecting people and they're sharing considerable amount of time with each other. And that's where I considered that it will more be of a purpose driven. And if I work well around the branding part, around the product part, bring a sort of team members together, we can do good things. And that's why I chose this particular area. And that's where we have been working so far. And with God's grace, we rolled out our product, did few marketing, did few conversations. Like we rolled out adult love shot conversations, called on very big people and talked about their journey of following their passions and interests, which was very unique journey of their own, that how they faced various hardships, various struggles, and still they kept on following their unique route and went on to inspire nation, their community at large. So lots of learning for me also by connecting with these leaders, building product, and happy to do something which connects with me at like more of a purpose level. Right. So there have been various instances where we considered giving up, but the only reason is our why, which is at the end of the day, we want to see like say 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 couples coming out. And that's where we are into this day in and day out.
Wonderful. And I remember the first time when I heard your idea and sort of connected so deeply with it, because I have actually seen and I still see a lot of young and a lot of middle-aged people also really struggling and striving in this space, trying to find partner, because I think so we understand that there are only two very important decisions and choices you are going to make over your life period. One is your career, the other one is your partner. So it's
That's
actually one of the core
core. Yes.
decision criteria of your
Decision
life.
criteria.
And I find a lot of young people sort of struggling,
True.
especially when it comes to the space of partnership and relationship. And I see a lot of fear actually operating in this space, which primarily comes from one, a place where people do not know themselves very well. And so their ideas of who would be a good partner are based on, very superficial criterias of what job they should be doing or what kind of life you want to lead
Income
in
levels they
terms
will be
of
having.
exactly.
Mhm.
And so, or how would they be looking and all of those kind of things,
Various
which
other
I feel
judgments and criterias.
exactly, which are not really very helpful at all.
Mhm.
So I see that your work is not is one, of course, it is offering a platform where those people who are curious about themselves, who invest and spend time, and who are self aware and self assured, can really find more people who are more self aware and self assured.
Self-assured. That's
Because
true.
that's what
That's true.
happens when you start to get to know yourself. You want to really partner with somebody who also is self assured and self aware,
True.
right?
True. True.
And
True.
because our societies have changed so much. The
Mm.
parents do not arrange the marriages anymore, and even if they do, I think the younger ones have diminishing trust in their parents' choices. Ways.
See, the thing that's happening with our generation is we are prolonging the decision to
Mm,
marry, to be very honest. Like, I do see people getting married at say 24, 25, but youngsters are more into taking the decision independently because they are getting more aware of the implications around their professional and other aspects of life. So I primarily say that there are three main pillars of life, which is mind, body, and soul. And there was one particular graph which showed that how much time you will be spending alone, how much time you will be spending with your colleagues, and how much time you will be spending with your life partner and friends. And the time with your life partner is uh, very high when we see the entire lifespan. So if you are not coming with a mindset of growth, not only for your own personal self, but also for your significant other, for your partner, then you will end up thinking, acting, deciding in a way which doesn't lead to compounding benefits of both of you, right? Because if we see it's a very long term partnership, and since we are humans, we are bound to make some mistakes, we are bound to make each other, what we can say, there will be different dynamics that will be going into place. But if we have conscious awareness that we want to explore love in a way which is enabling growth of my own self as well as the other partner, then it will lead to compounding benefits. And we have this framework which we say that you think, act, and ultimately get that habit as a couple, which leads to growth in these three areas: mind, body, and soul. That's what the whole idea is. That's what the whole approach towards exploring love is, which makes it more beneficial for both the partner in the longer.
understand. And I also reckon that you're not just offering a platform for people to connect with the purpose-oriented and, self-aware people, but you're also offering support for all of those people who are curious and who want to pursue that journey of becoming more self-aware, and
True.
also to those people who have already sort of married and are in a relationship and now want to explore that growth mindset in their life and
Life
relationship.
and relationship. That's true. That's true. So what we are doing is say there are two pillars to it. The first is enabling love, which is very specifically romantic love in this sense, which leads to lifelong relationship. And as I explained, it needs to be in the growth mindset. Like how we enable growth mindset is not only by respecting our own journey, but also the respecting journey of the significant other. Right. So the whole rationale also, I'll link this with the adult love shot conversation. Like people were asking me, this is a romantic platform. Why are you bringing these leaders and talking about their passions and interests instead of talking about love life? And I was like, the way media is showing love life of celebrities, it is uh, keeping a wrong impression among youth audience of, and that's what they are taking it in themselves, and that's how they are interacting with each other when it comes to love. We see patch up breakup stories, this story, that story. In reality, we don't see the amount of investments that those people make with each other and in their own selves. So when we brought this leaders, the whole idea was exploring that a relationship is an investment. Dating is a sort of investment. It's not something which is a hobby. You can't, like, as youngsters, people do make mistakes. They play around feelings, they play around uh, what we can say, they come into engagements which are not that much beneficial. But at the end of the day, if we have this perception of seeing a relationship as an investment, will end up doing things which will enable not only our own personal growth but the significant other. And I was not the best person to signify that, That's why I brought this 50, 60 leaders, that irrespective of the life stage, irrespective of the personal losses that they were facing, financial ups and downs, they invested in their journey. And at the end, they went on to inspire like lots and lots of young people. Now they are doing good with their, relationship life also. So no matter your life stage, whether you have faced any loss, or whether, as you mentioned, who are, very old people who are, in like midlife, who are looking for love. Love is for everyone. And at any stage of life, you should consider that you are eligible for love. You're
Hmm.
worthy for love, right? Because love is an emotion that everyone deserves. And if we invest to learn about it, and I'm sure that we will find it the most appropriate way.
Wonderful. And Udit, where is a place where people can really find those talks and those conversations that you've been mentioning about?
Yeah, so we have this Adore Match conversation channel on Instagram. There we invite leaders to talk about their passions and journey. You can also find it inside our application in the form of blog. If you want to see the video, you need to go on the Instagram channel, and there you will see these unique journeys, like inspiring journeys of facing hardships, struggles, but still not giving up on their passions, following their heart, and then at times, getting those sort of awards, which were like very inspiring, right? So even the spiritual leaders have come and talked about love and relationships. So, and at the same time, there have been people who have been celebrity stylists of any actors, or even sometimes the dancers, fitness people, creators, online content creators. And Miss India recently came. She talked about her relationship, her journey of following, this career in fashion designing, and it was very insightful in a way that how they are managing their professional life, how they are managing their personal life and love life, everything at the same time. So you can find it on Instagram. Yeah, Adore Match is the channel.
All right. So everybody who would be interested can go to Instagram, follow Adore Match, and can listen into all those conversations. Let's come back a little bit to the self part.
Yes.
So what is this idea of self? And I also hear when you speak about these conversations that it is more and more important for people to get heard, seen, recognized, and appreciated for who they are, what they are doing, what they are achieving, and what their dreams are.
True. True.
And especially in a love and relationship space, this is coming more and more important. So
Mhm.
so what would you say about that knowing self?
Yeah. So see, the one quote that I have imbibed, uh, and which I consider every person must imbibe when it comes to the relationship with your own self, is that no, nothing is more powerful than your relationship than your own self.
Hmm.
This is a very broad level of understanding if one imbibes in their life, that you, your relationship with your own self, it determines how you operate in all scenarios, right? So you can't at times have complete control over all aspects of life, right? However, your relationship with your own self is sustained in, if you're truly loving your own self, so to say, then you will be able to give that love to others,
Hmm.
right? So the relationship with your own self is the most important thing. And during the course of our day, I'm not speaking about years, during the course of our day, if we are conscious of the relationship with our own self, then it builds a very appropriate way of how we are, you know going around different scenarios, going around different aspects of life, right? Be it the personal life, be it professional life, be it career. And that's what I say, that uh, there are some practices that one must follow, right? That are very much important. Like, say if we wake up every day, and if we have this self-affirmation thoughts and visualizations, then someday we will actually manifest it. So to give an example, if I wake up and I say that in my past I have been loved a lot by my grandmother, by my mother, by my, sisters. I have got into very good relationships with some of the best people, and I visualize myself getting into growing relationship in the coming time. Then one day you will manifest. This is the visualization that you do when you are waking up when it comes to relationship aspect. Now, when it comes to profession, we can say that all the experiences, all the education that I have received till now has been a key driver of my holistic self, and I acknowledge it, I accept it, and I am very much happy to have this all opportunities that were given to me, all the interactions I made during my education and my professional career, all of them were helping me to become the best version of myself. And today, this version of myself has reached that stage which can dream to achieve more potential, to touch more lives, to make a better world. And that's where if I see my future self, I envision that after 10 years, after 15 years, I'll be creating lots of impact by getting in touch with people who will be like impact driven, or who may be like having this growth mindset. So all these things ultimately help in driving more harmony, driving more love, and getting that sense of self-worth, which is very important. No matter what sort of phase you are in, whether you are at highs of highs, lows or lows, or if your life is just very straight without any ups and downs. If your space with your own self is rooted in say self-worth and love, I think it will be a happy journey for the
Absolutely.
course of.
I really connect with that point of self-worth, and that making a connection with your past, present, and future through your gratitude and imagination. And it sort of brings me to something I read recently in a book by Emil Coué, who's been a psychologist and psychotherapist.
Mhm.
He wrote something about a book about autosuggestion, and in that book he said that our will always concedes to our imagination. And he said it's futile to work on the will, but it's more important to work on our imagination, because then
Imaginations. True.
a healthy, strong, powerful imagination
True.
will ensure that we have more will to bring into our lives. And
Lives.
I was like, this is so amazing. And this activity that you just shared of connecting your past experiences with your present and then future is like sort of creating a imagination for yourself, visualizing like,
Mhm.
what, where am I coming from, and who
True.
I am right now, and how
True.
that past has contributed to myself, and then move forward.
Mhm.
Rajesh Rajesh has written that after hearing you, he feels like referring the app to his unmarried nephew. That's
Sure.
very good, Rajesh. Please go do
You can
that.
go out. It's live on Play Store right now. You can explore the app, find few profiles, and you will find profiles. If you build your interest and personality, passion, holistical profile, you will find our algorithm will show you best in class profiles.
Wonderful. So tell me a little bit about that technical aspect, because I'm really curious. And since we've talking about love, let's talk a little bit about that tech also. So how do you ensure that people really come across like-minded people?
Okay, so I'll say that I'm not a coder, to be very
Mhm.
honest. If I see from the business standpoint, I'm a non-coding product manager. That's how I see myself. So the algorithm, the logic that we have kept is first enabling individuals to create their holistic 360-degree profile in various interest categories. Like say Komal is into coaching, she will also be into fitness. She may be into dancing also. Now, when she creates her profile by uploading photograph, writing description, mentioning proficiency level for all these interest categories, when some person sees Komal, he understands that Komal has this three different areas where she is invested. And our algorithm has this particular, proprietary filters, which suggests best in class profiles to Komal based on her personality, passions, and interest categories. Now, they may be similar or they may be complement. Like, say, Komal is into dancing, they may be into dancing, they may be into singing. Because if Komal finds someone who is singing and she's dancing, it will be competitive. So, what we are trying to do is, if someone is looking to find more into, say, 10 plus categories, like, say, fitness or anything, they can go to Explore Junction. And in just 2 clicks, they will find all profiles in different categories of their choice. So a seamless exploration based on the category of your preference, as well as, like, we also suggest you profiles based on our proprietary tech. And I have talked personally with lots of people across various age groups, like, say, between 22 to 28, between 28 to 32, people who have been, like, in the age group of, say, 40. And some of them had interest and passions. And when I talked with them and I told them that, how do you consider matching with someone based on your similar interest or complementary? And they were like, this seems interesting, right? Because I know this couple met in this particular place, but I don't see any online platform doing it. I would love to find people in, say, so there was a boy who was playing guitar the street, and I showed him, and he was like, I love finding profiles in music. We may jam together. She may sing, I may play. We can have combinations. This is lovely thing. On top of it, I found, as you were saying, fear during the first
Yeah.
part of your question. So I have seen people who have lots of interest and passion, who are who have tendency to love, but their experiences are not opening them to show that. Now, if I know that if they come on the platform, if they connect with 4 or 5 people, because they are into dancing, they are into music, but but just that they have kept themselves reserved. So if they come on the platform, if they find profiles who are in the similar category, it is not important that you start off the discussion with love. You can talk about your interest and passions. That I love singing, I love dancing. And that conversation will be in depth because both of them know that technicalities.
Mm.
So then it's up to them how they want to take it. But at least that phase will start wherein they are getting into friendship or companionship, anything, right? So that's the whole way how we are connecting people and how we are enabling exploration and expression. Yeah.
Right.
So that's how it works.
Amazing. I love the way or how you've planned the whole thing out because it's not like you have a pressure to just go and find somebody to spend the rest of your life with, and that pressure to try and look for that love and interaction in each other. Rather, what you are also doing through this platform is educating people that there are multiple ways of connecting with other people. It's not just that hormone hijacked attraction that will only lead to a good relationship. Rather, that might not be the right relationship in the long run for you. But it's more like explore more about self and first try and see how many different ways are possible to find that connection, find that love within self, and then it becomes easy to connect with others.
True, true. I'll say, Komal, that I have met few people who have been at that life stage where they give up on life. Give up on life as in they give up on love. They give up on their own self. And I see the beauty in them. I see the sense of worth that they are having. They're talented, they're having few interests. And it disheartens me when they say that I have had these experiences and now I don't. I'm not, that much. I'm not having that particular mind space to go out and explore relationship. And I get very serious that why are you taking life so serious? Right? Why are you taking yourself so seriously? Instead, why can't you just go out and be out your own self and not just follow, but explore from the point of view of a companionship or a friendship? And uh, I, from my personal experience, what I have observed with people with me is that uh, if you are good with people, if you even you're good, and even if you're in the chaotic times, if you show that you genuinely want good for other people, you are purpose driven, or you're having some sense of purpose, then there will be support that will be coming. Then it may be helping you to find love, it may be helping you to find friendships or relationships. So in Indian culture, it's more like the senior people, like the aunties and all, they take the task of finding that match.
Yeah.
And then if it doesn't work out, they do get disheartened, but they know deep down that we want to get this person matched. So I am like that sort of auntie, that even that young person has given up on himself or herself. No, you deserve love, and you need to end up finding love, right?
Yeah.
So I am like that auntie at scale. I want to do that thing at scale. That's why I have built a love tech platform, right? I'm meeting investors, I'm trying to convince them, because in the first phase of my life I had been a bit serious. I had been a consultant. I used to wear suits, I used to go to offices, used to work with very top CXOs. It was a good experience professionally. I mean, this phase of life, people take it hard to see Udit, who was like so much studious, used to work hard, used to be 20, like 14 hours a day. He used to read books and used to work on academics during his school. I was talking about all these things and become an auntie who wants to enable love at scale. So what is wrong with it? I'm saying that nothing is wrong with it. It's just very purpose driven. That we are touching one of the core aspects of your life.
Mm.
Not very serious, because life is meant to be a happy engagement with lots of people in a way which helps everyone grow.
Absolutely. And I think it's very, very important because, see, as coaches, when we train, we go through understanding and learning the similar aspects about human behavior, like what's most important to people, who they are really, what is
True.
their whole self. And when we see like uh, go through a lot of studies that have happened, so there are these theories of motivation, like what really motivates people, what really people really need in their lives, and there are some very core needs. So the needs of
Core need. Yes, core need.
affection, right? So affection and or affiliation with people is one of the core needs. Then the
Core
need
need.
to grow is another. The need to be safe is another, right?
True.
And when we talk about affection and affiliation or connection with other people, you know, love plays an important role because that's like the binding factor, that's like the connection. And it's not just in a romantic situation, but otherwise also
Mhm.
between parents and children, between partners,
True.
between co-workers, and all those sort of people.
Mhm.
And I think this is one such important factor which also impacts your overall growth. It also brings a sense of safety because a lonely person will not feel safe at all. As humans, we are sort of wired, we are made to survive and thrive in the communities of people.
True. True. True.
And so if we are not connected, we
Mhm.
would obviously not going to feel safe as well.
True. So, in that particular sense, I'll say that I have been across, like, say, seen people around, as I mentioned, who just want to shut down their spaces because of few experiences that they have, be it in their uh, relationship or in their friendship or in their professional life. We don't. But the whole essence here is to see each and every experience as a gateway for your own evolution. It's a very broad thing, but also not only for your own evolution, but also for the evolution of other people around you. Right? When you see it from that space, right, you enable a sense of upliftment, which is not you can measure directly, but which ultimately goes on to inspire. Right? So I talked with 60 leaders in last 1 year, and all of them were very open. They were vulnerable. They talked about their lowest points, and I was like, you represent, you are such a big person, and still they're open, vulnerable, they're talking about their experiences. And that made me think that today it has inspired me in my upliftment. If any one person, if he is watching this conversation, even if he has watched 10 minutes of, I'm sure it will lead to that upliftment also. Right? So the sense of uh that particular thing, which you mentioned, it's Maslow's hierarchy, whereas the first is safety, need for safety, need for love, need for growth, and then the higher level of what we can say, purpose and all these things
Self-actualization and your,
that
yeah.
that comes into place. And what I realize here is that love is one of the core needs which falls just above safety and below food and all. So love is important for everyone, and the best part to go around it is to see yourself worthy for all experiences of, for
Absolutely.
love, for friendships. If you don't see yourself well worthy of it, if you believe in yourself, then the the sort of what we can say, uh, your way of going around things will not be appropriate, which may cause chaos, which is not required. Right? So and that's where we also have built this platform in that, because I have seen various people getting into romantic engagements by youngsters, and they don't say name of the friend whom they are in touch with, because they are like, what if someone discovers that I'm talking with this? What about their privacy? How will it will cause people to judge me, right? And so they are so much of private, they don't even save names of their significant other friend, and they fear a lot. And it's true, that's the common behavior across lots and lots of people, especially for females, right? And that's where when our team went on to build this platform, that was the primary ingredient of our platform. Like, we have enabled the sort of privacy confidentiality in a way which you see it in a very top funded companies. But the reason for going around that was to be honest, right? That if we really want to be purpose driven, then we need to invest in this technologies upfront. So we want to ensure that privacy, confidentiality of everyone, so that they are at comfort when they are coming to use the platform. That's the way we have operated. That's the decision that we have taken. And fortunately, if anyone uses our product, they will see all those things enabled.
Hmm.
That anyone is not misrepresenting their profile or uploading celebrity images or going into things or texting something which makes it inappropriate.
Right.
Right? So say you may be a friend for 2 3 years, and you may be in a relationship, and you may talk in the way you want because you're comfortable. But at times it happens that just in the first message someone is sending something which makes someone uncomfortable. So
Yeah.
we have enabled this text based moderation, wherein you can't write anything that comes to your mind. Like, most of the things are taken care of, but still there are exceptions. So we are attempting uh, have this different pillars in our product in some way, and somewhere we are starting small, doing things, experimenting, uh, and working in the framework which enables all these pillars of safety, need for love, and growth in one
Right.
platform.
Okay. I think that somewhere also answers the question that Preeti has written, like how the dating apps ensure that people putting their profiles are not misrepresenting themselves, which could eventually lead to online dating frauds, etc.
Mhm.
So, is there anything more that you would like to add to
Yeah,
that?
so as I mentioned, we have enabled very high-end technology, which is like possible for tech companies to now enable. Most of the companies take that decision at a very later stage, enable them. We have enabled it right. So if you go on to build our profile, the most of the complaints that I have received is that we are not even able to complete our profile.
Mm,
Like it's not allowing us to upload. And I'm saying, have you uploaded your photograph?
mm,
Have you uploaded? Have you? Because they upload three photographs. One photograph will be of their own, the other two will be of someone else. Or
mm,
they have uploaded any celebrity, but they have uploaded half image. So I'm like, if you are building your profile in a proper way, you will end up finding people. And I need to ensure that because the things at times this is a space where emotions overtake, you know, uh,
rationality.
rationality. No, I'm very serious as a founder. I am very serious,
Mm,
right? And especially when it comes to young people, they see some Bollywood movie, they see some actor, that's how they have done in that love story. I'll also do that. They do things which are irrational, or some sort of events happen in communication when two people met, some sort of event happen. They get emotional and they do things which are not imaginable. So, from our perspective as a platform, what all things we can do, ensure all these things are appropriate, hygienic, good for youngsters, and having all these things into place. We are trying our best, and somewhere we are enabling it, right, in appropriate.
right. So you do have those checks that, there is an authenticity
It's
check on.
real time checks are there. You can go around and start building your profile. And because technology is like the way people want to use it, they will use it, right? So what we can do to ensure the privacy as a platform, before we are scaling it to say 2 million people, we need to imbibe those things at this stage when we are with say few thousand people. We are not making that conscious choice, then it's like we are enabling people to engage in a way they want. We are we are motivating them to do any sort of behavior, which is which as think we have this particular opportunity to moderate. That's the word.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to, Yamini has written a comment saying, love will save us. I believe yes, but first we need to strengthen and build that love for ourselves, and then it
True.
has sufficient power to really save us.
Love with growth mindset will uh, enable growth and not only save us.
So, what do you really mean by growth mindset? Because I don't think a lot of people would associate growth mindset in the matter of love. Like, how does growth mindset fits with love? The
Okay.
idea of, love.
I don't see love without growth mindset.
Okay, interesting.
Yes,
Go
I
ahead.
don't see. No, so I think that we need to be conscious about that choice. But as
Hmm,
humans, we don't engage in a way. The realistic way of how we are engaging is hardly with growth mindset.
hmm,
But if like it's not hardly, but in most of the scenarios is with not with growth mindset. But if we are engaging with each other with growth mindset, so how it works primarily and why it is important. The first will go with why. No? So, as I mentioned, there are three aspects of life, which is your mind, body, and soul. Now, say if you are in growth mindset, you are not only loving yourself in the best possible way, but you are also loving the other person. So, say mind. When it comes to mind, there are a few habits. That's a meditation, which helps to strengthen. When it comes to body, it's a from walking to fitness to running, all this falls into body. And when it comes to soul, it's more of journaling or visualization or having a good sleep, right? Now These are the three pillars. Now you imagine your three pillars and the three pillars of your partner. And once you engage with a growth mindset, you will see that all actions that I am doing, is it leading, a rise in this three pillars of my own self as well as my other self? We consciously ask that before, getting into all sorts of activities, talks and all this. Like, you don't need to be that much conscious that in each and every conversation, in each and every act you bring it, but on a holistic level, you will think about that whether this decision of mine, whether it will help both of us propel forward, or whether it will lead to downfall of other, and I will grow. Like, all these things come into place, when two people are coming together, there's sort of ego that comes, there's sort of some sort of fear comes, but dissolving all of it and
Yeah,
coming with growth mindset leads to compounding benefits,
absolutely.
right, in the longer term. So that's the why part. Now,
Yeah.
what? Yeah.
And how I also understand it is because most of the times what happens is we apply a lot of logic and rationality when it comes to our jobs and careers. But for love, we feel like, okay, all that rationality has to be on the side because if we are thinking rationally, then we are not true with our feelings or it's just left to the space of feelings, right? And I recently read somewhere that feelings are not the right barometer of taking a decision or making a decision. Yes, feelings are very important. They need to be acknowledged, they need to be accepted.
True.
They bring a lot of useful and important information about ourselves,
Mhm. True.
but they cannot be the criteria to make a decision.
uh, True, true. But what I think is that feelings are not only the standpoint for making decision. That's why the best way here is to not take impulsive decisions.
Hmm.
I'll say it like, uh, the way I have seen, or the way most of the times I have learned, if you are given some opportunity that let's do this, and if it's impacting one of the core areas of life, you may show that you are having feelings, but you can take a step back and you can say that let me come back to this after some time, because you can't control feelings at all moments of your life, because sometimes the situations will be very critical. But the thing that you can do is take a pause and see the different scenarios, and then come back with a sort of decision wherein you are not going out with mindset of fear,
Right.
right? So they are not. So that's the best way to give time. Like, I can just say for my own self, because when I see myself, when I'm in middle of some important decision, all I do is I have in there's a sense of urgency
Hmm.
that is within you, because you need to move fast. But I am like, if I am like so much urgent, if I take this decision and if it goes wrong, then it will affect this thing in a negative. And that's where I have been able, like our team has been able to, do these things in such a limited resources. We've achieved so many things, and people get surprised that how is it possible that you are, went on to build a full tech product, went on to bring 60 leaders, all this, so frugal. I'm like, I just take a step back before making a very major decision, because it
Hmm.
will make or break things, and I can't be in that space where I'm like make or break. I need to go sustainably. Same goes for relationship, that if two people have gone into fight, it happens, right? And feelings do overpower, emotions do overpower rationality, and then we need to give each other time to come back to normal and then take any decision. Like youngsters this day, they get so much into this emotions that just over the phone or text they say that it's over, and they take a kick out of it, that see I just, and then they send all these things. It's like very superficial, right? That without respecting the other person, without going around seeing their sense of self, depreciating their sense of worth, we are doing it. Then we need to just see it from the standpoint of growth of our own self and others. Then we'll not
Yeah,
do all these things. We'll not do
I
all
would,
this.
yeah, I would say it's not just the youngsters, but sometimes we very mature, adult, experienced people get into those
Yes,
kind of life paths where we take that such kind of decisions. I know I once quit my job because I was so pressurized in one position to take either this choice or that choice, and I wasn't even given some sort of a time, and I was so overpowered with my emotional state at that point of time that said, forget it, like whatever seems like the right choice for preserving myself. I took that decision, quit the job, moved out. And so it happens with the in all areas of life with all sort of people. So I think it's uh, having that sense prevail to take a step back, calm down, and then approach something is good. I see a very intriguing and very interesting question by Pat in chat box where he says that growth mindset talks to taking risks through making difficult decisions. How is this reflected in love?
okay. Love is itself a risk. Love is itself a risk. Like that's what if I see in the Indian culture, if I see youngsters right now, there are two broad categories. The ones who don't want to take that risk, who wants to say that let parents decide for us, and if anything happens, we will like because love is a very major decision of life, like marriage or relationship. And most of the times they may be getting into relationship, they may be liking someone, but they are not able to take that leap of faith getting into marriage. The other area of youngsters are ones who say that I will own my decision no matter what happens. I'll take that risk and I'll just go out and confess my feelings in spite of the rejections. I'll just try to bring people together so that my love life is happening the way I want it. And there are those set of people also who have visualized that this is the type of person I want, or this is the I will do any I'll take my decisions independently and own them, right? So growth mindset is important when you are, yes, that's a very good question. I'll come to that. So growth mindset is very important when you are taking that decision independently,
Yeah.
right? Because when you are taking that decision independently, then you may end up getting into the negative sequences of events. If you're not going independently in love, with a growth mindset, you'll end up causing, negative sort of events
Same.
for each other. And no one will be there at that stage because they will be like, you took that decision yourself. You
Yeah.
didn't ask us. Now you own it. And that's why when two people are coming together, they need to be a sort of a space which is causing harmony for the other people also, instead of creating chaos for other people. It's very hard. And that's why for youngsters, finding and exploring love is hard because the mature people are expecting to young people to create harmony, right? And that's where it's a bit of subjective space. But all these things help that if two people are there in their own sense of personal growth, if they are in their own self sense of their each other's growth, then they can go out confidently and say that uh, you can bank on us. We have taken this decision.
Yeah.
Everything will be going good, right. So growth mindset is that's very
So we are coming close to our time for today's conversation, and and it brings me to the last and final question, which also sort of I think would answer Pat's question of like how do we stop holding back from commitment because of poor past romantic
true,
experiences and all. I think that holds up and creates a space for both learning and healing
true, true,
towards what you said is growth mindset. So how are
true.
you incorporating that aspect in your
See,
project?
what I have learned from 60 plus adult love shot conversations in this regard, you may have this past experiences where you consider, where I also mentioned earlier, that you will give up on love, that you will consider that there is no chance of love left. I don't believe in humanity. I don't believe in love, anything like that. I've seen people talk like that. And the only way to do it is the guidance that was shared by spiritual leaders on our platform, right? And what they are saying is that the commitment is something that, the whole aspect of religion came because people were fearful of taking decisions. So they were like, there is some higher power that's protecting us. Let's call it this name. This is the religion that we follow. That's how religion came. Spirituality is understanding more of your own inner self, and and having a faith in that higher power, because no matter how much achievements we have carried or how much successes we have had, uh, we don't know how the future set of events will roll out, right? So the guidance that we have received in that case is that you need to keep a common spiritual force, not a religious, a spiritual force in between when you are coming in your next relationship. And you need to say that I am placing my faith, I am placing my courage, I am placing my trust, everything to this spiritual space. And the other person is also placing that trust, faith, love in that spiritual space. And then both of them are saying that we respect the spiritual space. This is the bond which is bringing us together.
Mm,
And to respect it, this is not a guidance that I am, this is not something that, it's my knowledge. It's the knowledge that's coming from the global organizations that are having 100 plus years of experience. When they condensed this knowledge, irrespective of your religion, your faith, your age, your gender, anything, said that keep that spiritual space in between and say that this is the space of love, trust, faith, courage, and to respect this space when you come together for the lifelong partnership. To respect this space, you will adhere to all the particular traits of love. There are 24 traits of love, and that's the guidance that I received. And I was like, this is a mind blowing, what we can say, answer to my question. And I was like, this needs to go out. And that's how I see it. That I see this is the rational approach and a very holistic approach of getting into committed relationship.
wonderful. Thank you so much, Udit, for getting us an insight into what's happening currently in the space of love and relationship and sharing your ideas. We wish you all the best for your endeavor and for everybody who wants to explore more at this platform. Look for Adore on Instagram, or you can try making your profile and see what you can find. I would say that I see a lot of resonance in the work that we do as coaches in this space. And I'm sure today, whatever you've shared about the love and relationship space have opened up more ideas for us coaches, like how we can come in the picture and how we can really support the youngsters.
True, true.
So,
So on the final note, all I have to
yeah.
say is that say the life is very short, and we all need to have this understanding that we are coming with each other in this race of life, that there is some grace, that there's like God is walking with us in this journey. So when we understand that, this race becomes grace, right? And then when we come and engage with everyone around us, we will go with a sense of love, which is a very broader way of engaging with. We'll go with a sense of empathy, kindness, treat each other with respect, admiration. And there will be moments where we are, humorous and light-hearted. But at the end of the day, we all want each other very happy and a growing life. That's all we want. And that's that's the whole, what we can say, like that's the best way to lead a life. And that's what we
Absolutely.
want to do as an auntie, like as a matchmaking auntie. I want to do this thing at a scale, and I have, I'm putting this out public and
Yeah,
hope for the best.
absolutely.
Yes,
Wish
yes,
you all the
yes.
best. And I have also shared a file for all of us, which has a little bit of a brief of today's conversation. Should anybody like to download, we'll also share it separately with the video that we've recorded today. Thank you, everybody. Kiva, over to you.
Thank you so much for this super, super wonderful conversation. I was literally texting Yamini as well and saying, oh my God, wow, this is such a different and interesting way of looking at love. So glad that at least for us in India, we're closing the day on that note. And for others, I think starting the day on that note. So thank you so much, Udit, for joining in. And thank you, Komal, for hosting this session today. See you all next week, same time, so 7:30 p.m. IST. I'm going to just quickly share my screen to show you what we're bringing to you next week. You can see at the bottom, it's a webinar with Ram, with a leader from Infosys, Clifford Mohan Pai. So we're going to be discussing systemic approach to coaching in organizations. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining in today, and hope to see you all next time. Thank you again, Udit. Thank you so much, Komal.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate this opportunity. Thanks a lot, Kum. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone
Bye.
for joining. See ya. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Take care. Bye bye.